Hi guys, so I've just made this 10-minute or a little bit more video. It's basically going to be working on a Fiesta that I should, by the time you're watching this, have uploaded a full time-lapse video going over the full repair of this corner into wing. But in this particular video we're going to concentrate on this plastic trim repair, which I'm just removing. A lot of people think that you can't repair these, or they're not sure about the process of how to repair these areas. It's basically bare textured plastic that you get a lot of trim. Bumper areas on certain cars have got more of it than others. So yeah, we're going to just, obviously we've removed the panel, and I'm just going to take this little bit of chrome trim off it just to make things a little bit easier. This is definitely something that anybody can do at home. It doesn't require any special tools or anything like that, just basic stuff. I'm going to be showing you how to use the texture spray also. So I've just got various bits of sandpaper and sanding disc to hand here. Now I think I started with 180 grit and then decided to perhaps step it up to 120 if I remember rightly. It's just because the gouge in the plastic was quite deep and it just speeds things up. Sometimes you can be there with the wrong grit. If it's too high a grit, if it's not enough, then it will sometimes you end up just rounding it off and you don't really get anywhere. So I've just stepped it up to 120 grit, which is quite a dense grade, so it's obviously going to remove the damage, but it's going to leave quite a bit of roughness and DA marks once it's been used. So we'll definitely have to refine that. Now I'm using I call them a pistol DA. It's on the Airline. You don't have to use this. You can just use sandpaper by hand, as long as it's enough of a grit to rub down, i.e. 80 grit, perhaps 120 grit. Just work your way up the grades exactly the same as what I'm doing. You can also use electric DA orbital sander. It doesn't have to be an air one. I'm just using an air one because that's what I've got. So as you can see, I'm removing all the scuffs, the scrapes and the damage. Like I mentioned a minute ago, it will cause the plastic to look quite rough. So as always with sanding, that will need refining. I've just stepped it up there to 180, which is less of a coarse grit. Everywhere that I've been with the 120 will need going over with 180 until obviously the stage before we've removed the damage. So at this point there shouldn't be any scratches or scuffs, they should be completely removed. Now we're removing the damage that's caused from the 120 or 80 grit or whatever you've used. 180 is a good all-rounder. If the scuffs weren't as deep as on this one, then you could probably get away with just using 180. If it's on a electric orbital DA sander, sometimes I find they're a bit more powerful than the Airline that I'm using here, so sometimes it's a good idea to do what I did and perhaps not start with the really coarse grit 80 120 and perhaps start with 180 and see how you get on with that. Failing that, you know, go back, get your 80 out, get your 120 out, make sure the damage is removed, and then proceed with the next grade. So that's exactly what I've done with this. I've also just gone over it with 180, and now I like to drop onto the 320. There's different ways of doing things, different people use different grades, that's absolutely fine. I use what I know works and what's quick for me. So I know that 180 grit will remove 120, I know that 320 will remove 180, and so on. For anyone that's watched other videos that I've done or a regular viewer, then you'll notice this is a system I use, whether it's wheels, plastic, filler sanding. We always usually start, depending on how deep the damage is or what we're sanding down, about 120, drop onto 180, 320, and then we're just going over it now with 400. So at this point you should start to see the plastic looking more, I won't say smooth because it still looks rough, but it's nowhere near as rough each stage that we go up as the one before it. So we're starting to get to a stage now where things should start looking a little bit more like the original finish. Obviously the area we've sanded won't look the same as the original finish, so if you carry on watching you'll find out how we try and replicate that finish. So this is just being rubbed down with some 400. This is the foam back soft stuff. You probably won't have this. I like to use this. I'm doing this every day. I need to be using the things that I like, basically. But you can take the sanding disc or sandpaper, whatever you're using. If it's a 400 grit disc or 500 grit disc or sandpaper, then all we're doing is just rubbing it all the way over, just to get a good key on the plastic. As with any kind of painting and refinishing work, it's always extremely important to get a good key. No areas that you should ever paint should be shiny. If they're shiny, the paint probably won't adhere. Always make sure you sand the edges. It's a common mistake I see a lot. Okay, so the same process as with the other grades that we've just shown. I know that 800 will remove the 400 marks. Each grade is removing the marks from the previous grade. So whatever scuffs the 400 has put in, the 800 is the right grade to remove it. Now I'm making sure I'm getting everywhere that I went with the 400 with the 800, and this is just providing us a really good key for the paint applications. So your panel or work area should start to look something like this, which doesn't look too bad, but we do need to apply a texture spray to it to make it look exactly how we want it to look. There's a few brands out there in this video, and the one I'm using at the minute is the Pro XL texture spray. I quite like this one. I've used a couple of others, they all seem to work pretty well. You can pick them up online or from your local motor factors, and they're specifically designed for plastic panels and for texture repairs. Now, unlike a normal aerosol rattle can, you don't just apply it as a full coat or even a half coat. All we're trying to do is just almost spit it on. The consistency of it is different from a normal paint. It's more thick, more gloopy. Sometimes the nozzle is different, and that allows you to create the texture spray effect. So after the first application of the paint, I'm just force drying it with a heat gun. You can use a hairdryer or a heat gun. I am having to move pretty quickly with this one because it's part of an overall repair and I've got a lot to do, so I am force drying it. It's summer as well, so it's quite warm, so things are drying quite nicely anyway. If it's colder or winter weather, things are going to take a bit longer. Always follow the manufacturer instructions on the can. So I'm just heating it up and cooling it down. It looks better already with one or two applications of the spray on it, but here's a little trick what I'm going to show you, which is going to make all the difference. When it comes out the can directly, in my opinion, it doesn't look like a natural textured finish. So there's a couple of ways that you can make it look more uniform and more factory. But what we don't want is it to look too new and like it's been repaired. I want this to look like I haven't repaired it. So I've just grabbed some scotch, in this case grey scotch. You can also use red scotch. I'm sure something like a Brillo pad would probably work. The rough, anything rough would just kind of knocking the heads off the texture spray what's landed on the panel. You'll notice it when you do it that it does leave a rough finish, and it's also slightly different in colours. Wherever it's splattered on, it's usually darker. This is a black rattle can that I'm using. There's different colours, but I've always found that black seems to cover most bases, especially once it's been roughed down. So this is something you're just going to have to play around with, try different things. It's quite good in the fact that you can layer some on and then do this. If you're not happy with it, put a little bit more on. Don't put too much on, but you can, you know, layer it up and play around with it like I'm doing in the video. So I've just flicked a little bit more on now. I'm trying to obviously cover any sanding marks what we've created. I'm also just flicking it over the entire piece of trim for a uniform finish so it all looks the same. I'm just force drying it again with the heat gun. You can use a hairdryer or wait until it dries. And I don't want it to look brand new. I want it to look like a few-year-old textured trim that's on a used car, daily used car. The other side doesn't look brand new, so I don't want this side to look brand new. I want the customer or the owner of the car to think, oh, I didn't realise you was able to repair that. That just looks like the other side. So again, just giving it a quick rough down with the scotch. It's starting to look exactly how I want it to look now, as in it's not too textured, it's not under textured, it's not too black, it's not shiny. It's just starting to look like a weathered piece of trim, which is exactly what we're after. So at this stage now, all the damage has been removed. We've applied 2 or 3, maybe 4 very thin layers of texture spray, and this is the effect what it's created, which I'm really happy with. So once it's dry and we're happy with it, we've applied the texture spray, we've knocked it down, roughed it up. I'm just going to put that chrome piece of trim back in, which just pops back in like so, and then we're going to put the panel back on the car. Obviously this can be done on the car, but if the panel's easily removable and you've got the time to do it, it makes a lot of sense rather than masking up and working around the area that you don't want to get the texture spray on. So that's that pop back in. Really happy with the finish. I think it looks brilliant on the car. It looks exactly the same as the other side. Like I mentioned before, this is part of an overall video. I've done a time lapse of all the scuff repairs to the bumper and a bit into the front wing. Keep an eye out for that. That should be uploaded today, the same time as this video. So there you go guys, that's a quick and easy textured repair spray that anybody can do at home with basic stuff. I hope the video's been good value to you, and please hit subscribe, please press like, please leave a comment. It helps me, it helps the channel, it helps me creating more content. I've got loads of content constantly to come, so I'll keep putting it out there, and I hope everybody's enjoyed it.